Okay. Alles klar, probieren wir es aus.
So, another welcome to Sasha. No? Come on.
Thank you. All right, welcome to Boom versus Culture Clash, which is the topic of my presentation here. Understanding online in Southeast Asia. Before we start with the topic, however, a short introduction so you know who's talking here. My name's Sasha. I'm coming from Rangsit University, which is in Bangkok. It's the biggest private university in Thailand. Before I went there, however, I studied here in Germany. I'm just speaking English because I didn't come back to Germany for 3 years, so I'm sure my German skills are. Afterwards, I worked in this typical online marketing roles. Then I thought, yeah, I need a time out. I don't like this agency work anymore. So I went to northeastern Thailand to work as a volunteer teacher. I enjoyed teaching quite a lot, so I decided to stay there. And I hope my mom's not listening right now. I even have a tattoo here saying teacher. So yeah, I like teaching, and now I'm a lecturer there. I'm not trying to show off. I'm just trying to show that we do have real houses there in Thailand. We're not teaching in some huts down the beach. It's quite modern and booming right now. So enough about me, however, let's jump into Southeast Asia. When I ask Southeast Asia, usually people say, yeah, temples, awesome sunsets, mystic stuff. It's true, of course, but there's more to Southeast Asia. When we talk about Southeast Asia, this flag is quite important. When you now think, I kind of realize this flag is true. It looks kind of similar to the flag that we have here in the European Union. There's a reason behind that and kind of plays into the stereotype of Asians only copying stuff, but can't help here. So what's this flag about? This flag represents ASEAN, and it's really pronounced ASEAN, not Asian. I made the mistake saying Asian. It's not true, it's ASEAN. It stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. By the name you can tell it's quite similar to the European Union. It will happen, hopefully, in 2015. It was planned to take place January 1st, already got postponed to December 31st. Now we're curious to see if it's really happening in 2015. Borders will open, work is going to get easier. Hopefully import-export will improve. At least that's what we hope. That's why right now there's kind of a gold rush feeling in Southeast Asia. Big companies from Germany, Europe, the States are coming to Southeast Asia to set their business there and be there when this happens. There are 10 member states in ASEAN, and also a lot of bullshit happening right now, but we will come to that later, of course. It's always when there's a gold rush feeling, you will come across a lot of bullshit. Yeah. So which countries are part of Southeast Asia? Let's have a brief look. I'm not sure if you know all those countries. We start with Bhutan, which is a very small country next to India, quite high above everything else, very hardworking people, at least my students. Then we have Myanmar, which is called Myanmar, but the people themselves are called Burmese, and they call their home also Burma. Then we have Laos, and Laos is next to Thailand, and here the relationship is a little bit like Germany and Austria with the big brother Thailand and the smaller brother without own language. Sorry for the Austrians in the audience. Then there's Cambodia. We have Vietnam, the Philippines, Brunei, which is officially called Brunei Darussalam, probably one of the 2 countries that nobody knows here. Malaysia, which is famous for Kuala Lumpur. Singapore, which is famous for being Singapore, most Western country in Asia. And Indonesia, which is incredibly big. So that's what we talk about now, that's Southeast Asia. Now that we got the facts straight, let's jump into the culture part. When it comes to culture in Southeast Asia, brief overview. Those are actually 2 of my students, 2 of my best students actually, and they are doing the Y, which is a Thai thing, but which is quite important in Southeast Asia because it shows respect. And respect is a very, very important thing when you are in Southeast Asia. That's one thing we will have to talk about. We will also talk about the work, which plays a big part in everyday life, of course, and in culture. Politics, a quick jump into politics, and you will learn what the term sabai means. So yeah, you're going to learn Thai today. When we jump into respect and Buddhism, this just means that religion is very important. This shows, for example, when you go to school, from primary school until graduation, until you graduate with bachelor, you will have to attend cultural classes. You learn how to do this the correct way, when to do it this way. So that's what you learn from kindergarten until graduation. So it's incredibly important. Politeness as currency then simply means that if you do this stuff right, you simply suppose that people will reward you. Example, I'm sitting in my office at university, a student comes in, says, yo, Achan. Achan is the Thai word for a teacher. Yo, Achan, I have a problem. Then I'm supposed to ignore him. If a student comes in and says, Achan, I'm so sorry, then you are supposed to help him no matter what. Yeah? So this is incredibly important, and people, they really pay attention to that. And it's not only at uni, it's in everyday life, of course. Showing off simply means that you are searching for validation through others, and we have that in every country, of course, but in Southeast Asia, it seems to be even more important. An example is people that drive fancy cars, the latest mobile phones, nice clothing, nice outfits, but when you go to their home, the homes quite often are pretty, how to say, shitty. And that's because when they go to party and go to meet friends, they always go out, so nobody sees your home. And the appearance is really, really important, and it also will play a role later into the online thing. Personal relations, vitamin B is always important, as you know, in Southeast Asia even more. Another example of myself, when I have to extend my work permit, my work visa, I usually have to wait for hours, even if I have all the documents from my university. If somebody else comes in and knows the guy or just gives him a few thousand baht, which is a Thai currency, everything will be faster and uncomplicated. So personal relations, vitamin B is even more important, also plays a role in online success later. So that's the short cultural part. We still have the work part. Work in Southeast Asia is usually considered very hard. Those are, of course, pictures of work that's still there, but it's not the average Southeast Asian person working like this. But work usually starts in the early morning, lasts until late evening. Say you start at 7, you work until 8. Of course, you don't work 12 hours straight. You work 2 hours, you have a break, you work 2 hours, you have a break, then you sleep, then have a break, then you work again. But still, work is supposed or assumed to be hard, and everybody who's working, no matter if you work like this or if you work in the office, everybody says, I work so hard because you work a long time. Which is not a problem for most people because you work together with friends. Many Southeast Asian languages, they don't even have a word for, or at least no actively used word for co-worker or classmate. Usually you say, I work together with friends, I go to school with friends, everyone's your friend, so you don't mind spending a lot of time there. Also important. Politics, that's of course something that we see here all the time, that my mom always sees, and then she calls me, are you fine? So politics, we don't always have demonstrations or things like that, but it happens, of course. And that's the reason, that's the reason why people quite often are really annoyed by politics. There are demonstrations all the time, and people are against the politicians and the current government, but they don't trust it. Even if there's a change, they don't trust. They say, I have to take care of myself anyways, so I'm really fed up with politics. Especially like Thailand, Myanmar, where this happens all the time. Many people, the average people, they are really, really fed up and say, I can't rely on politics anyway. I have to take care of myself. All the things we said right now, work and politics and this respect thing, leads to the sabai attitude. Sabai is a Thai phrase which could be translated to mañana, mañana. So let's do it tomorrow. I'm translating Thai to Spanish. Awesome. Okay, let's do it tomorrow. This means if you want to get something done and somebody is busy having a break right now, then you have to wait. And getting angry, the German style, like, hey, I'm here, you have to serve me, that doesn't help anything. Something I had to learn over the past 2.5 years is patience, patience, patience. So sabai is incredibly important for people. But that was a brief jump into the cultural thing, because I have to hurry a bit here. And now we try to relate it to the online thing, of course. Because it's, of course, not everything is like temples and mystic sunsets and stuff, and beaches. I haven't seen a beach in a year, for example. Sad. But yeah, we have vibrant cities, Bangkok, other cities that are booming and buzzing right now. So let's check how online looks in Southeast Asia. And before we start with the social media thing that we announced, let's have a look at 3 of the biggest websites in Thailand and Southeast Asia. One of the biggest websites is sanook.com. Sanook.com is a Thai website. They just changed the layout to a little bit more Western style. They serve everything for young people. It's especially for celebrity news, for university-related news, but mostly stars, and gossip, because gossip is super important. But then we have Postchung, which is a very good example for the typical Southeast Asian website. It doesn't look really good, really fancy. A lot of pictures and a lot of gossip and dating. It's a very, very famous dating site, and dating booms even more than ever right now. And then we go to Pantip, and this looks really crappy. Looks like a forum website like 10 years ago in Germany. And this is incredibly successful when it comes to discussions, political discussions, work-related discussions. That's where the opinions are made. And it looks incredibly shady, and I wouldn't want to spend too much time there, but the people, they say, I don't care how it looks, I don't care how it works, as long as it works. It's again a very interesting part from the culture. If you take it out from online, for example, when you go on holidays with people in Southeast Asia, you book a bus ticket, 6 hours bus trip. We say, I paid for this ticket, I want to sit. People in Southeast Asia, they don't care. The bus is full, whatever, I stand, even if I paid the same price. Similar here, I don't care how it looks, as long as it brings me where I want to be. Okay, that's also important. That's why those websites are very, very successful. Yeah, some websites, but now let's jump into social media. And social media, and here we are social media. Yeah? Where's Berlin? I don't know. But when you take those numbers from socialbakers.com, which is a very famous data site for social media, Bangkok is #1, Jakarta #2, Kuala Lumpur #10, makes 3 cities in Southeast Asia 3 out of 10. And let me check. Yeah, there's no German city. Where are you? You're not on Facebook. So we are on Facebook. Okay? This shows Southeast Asia is there. Even if when you think about online, usually you think what happens in Europe, what happens in the States, but it happens here. It happens in Southeast Asia. Or if you take a look at Mumbai and Seoul, it's even in Asia, 5 out of 10. So what are the biggest brand pages on Facebook? Just a quick overview. In Thailand, it's Ichitan. It's a green tea. They make not only green tea, they make iced tea. Then we have some clothing stuff, McDonald's in Malaysia, which is not too surprising. What's surprising? #3, Myanmar Cars Market in Burma, a country shattered by civil wars with so many poor people and only a few rich. A car market website is #1. Yeah, that's quite interesting to see that the average person in Burma simply doesn't use Facebook or the internet. Only the rich people are there. And if you see 45,000 likes in a country of 50 million people, it's nothing. But it's interesting to see that they make the money there. So what are they posting? What are they posting? Just a brief look of what are they posting. Of course, like in every other country, coupons. Coupons always work, no matter if Germany, Southeast Asia, or whatever. Coupons always work. But then it's getting interesting. That's Ichitan, the biggest page with more than 1 million likes. And they just posting funny pictures all the time, totally not related. There's Steve Jobs impersonator here. That's even the CEO of Ichitan. He's always having this captain's hat. And they're posting pictures of funny events which are totally not related to tea. So this shows that funny stuff generates likes. Even worse, Burger King Thailand posting, you all know that, right? Posting Super Mario picture with no relation whatsoever to Burger King. But this receives hundreds of thousands of likes and shares. They're just saying, I'm playing Super Mario now. What the hell? Our university, we have 105,000 likes. And when we started, we posted cat memes and stuff, yeah? What do you think, what the hell? And people like it, and they share it, and they like it again. Now we had a change of policy. We're posting more uni-related stuff. People don't care anymore. That's very, very interesting. Yeah, with this stuff, you generate likes. With related stuff, not so much. And of course, we also have shitstorms. Shitstorms happen right now, especially on Twitter. Only two examples on the right-hand side, on the left side from you, it's the PM, Prime Minister of Thailand, just joined Twitter. And here, that's the President of Indonesia with more than 1 million followers within 3 weeks or so. And they, of course, if somebody like this goes online, there have to be impersonators, right? And there are so many impersonators right now, and everything they post will be in the newspaper. Seriously, the biggest newspapers, they post tweets on the front page and stuff. So yeah, it's really booming. It's internet, social media is a really big thing right now, and everybody believes everything you can see there. So this is where opinion happens. But yeah, since I work at a university, we did some research together with other universities in Thailand and Southeast Asia, and we said, hey, what do you use social media for? And I think they're all lying. They said, I don't, games 0%, out of more than 1,000 students, 0% games. I don't think so. But that's what they say. But now it's even more interesting when we ask, hey, what do you think others use social media for? Others, they are gaming. I'm not, but the others, they do shit. I work in education, but others don't. That's very interesting, and also it says a lot about the culture. They say for themselves, I'm doing the right thing, but the others, they don't. And that's very important to know. Of course, we ask, what's your favorite network? Of course, Facebook #1. Of course, Twitter is there. But we're also Instagram. If you check Instagram, the food hashtags, that's where we are, that's what we own. And Line, I'm not sure, do you use Line? No hands up, no Line. Okay, we will come to that in a minute. We also ask, oh, I'm sorry for that, what's the problem? Problem with social media, many students say overuse, which just means they're using it too much. But then it's interesting that you also see unawareness. Yeah? People use it 24/7, and they use it really 24/7. Even when I'm teaching in the audience, everybody's like this. It's even worse than on Republica, by the way. The trust issues, privacy doubts, also interesting, because there is no privacy. People don't care about that. They post everything. It's always open. Yeah, I teach ethics and privacy. It's always open. Everybody posts his drunken pictures everywhere. Also interesting, and very interesting for me, speed of implementation. That just means that all you can do is chatting, actually, doing personal stuff, but you can't use it to get coupons, to get discounts, yeah, because business, they don't use it. So it's actually really only for private fun, which the last question shows. I say social media, you say, open question. First answer, pictures of food. Yeah, Instagram, I love it, yeah. But like I said, that's where we are. If you check Instagram, you will see so many Asians doing like this and having food pictures. Private use only is just what I said. People use it to chat, but they don't use it for anything else. Yeah, that's very interesting. Overrated, yeah, one could say so, but I wouldn't say that Republica. Incredibly important, everybody's online all the time, like really all the time. When you go out with friends, it's worse than here. Today, I went to the toilet and people run me over. And that's happened in Southeast Asia every day, all the time. Yeah, people just walk around like this. So online is important. And here, censorship happens all the time. Right now, we had a YouTube session. YouTube, very big right now in Southeast Asia. And what happens very often are parodies, like lip syncing, but then with a political character in the acting. Yeah, they act as politicians and singing "Call Me Maybe," but their acting shows something different. However, if you make it too obvious, you get punished, and really severely punished, jail and things like that. If you post about the royal family or something like that on Facebook, and somebody finds out about that, you will go to jail, no kidding. Or censorship, when there is election time in Thailand, I can't access Germanspiegel.de. I just can't access it, they just block it. They block news sites during election time. Happens all the time. Facebook gets blocked in Vietnam from time to time. Right now, many Vietnamese kids, they post suicide notes on Facebook. The Vietnamese government says, hey, you posted on Facebook is responsible for the suicides, we just shut Facebook down. That's how they act there, and that's what's happening all the time. So censorship could be a whole extra session. I would like to talk about it way more because it happens all the time, every day. short intro to social media in Southeast Asia. However, there's of course also business happening, and also a very, 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 very quick jump into business in Southeast Asia. Right now, startups rising. Yeah, we talked about there's a boom in Southeast Asia, boom versus culture clash, boom, boom, boom. We have a huge boom. Why is there the boom? Because of ASEAN. I told you before, ASEAN's happening, so it's booming. What's happening right now with the boom, a lot of copy and paste. Yeah, companies and startups go there. Usually the average startup in Southeast Asia is 1 Southeast Asian guys, 4 guys from the West. And they say, this worked in Germany, we're gonna make it work in Asia. Yeah? And that's not working, of course. Some examples, yeah, it's not working here. And since we're in Berlin, I thought I'm gonna pick on Rocket Internet. Only a few examples, 3 of them. They have hundreds of startups in Southeast Asia, but those are only 3 of them. Food Panda, one of the biggest, it's a food delivery service, and they say themselves they are facing a huge problem right now because of saturation. At first, their audience were expats like me. We're like, yeah, cool, I can stay at home and can order pizza. So it was rising, but right now everybody knows Food Panda, and it's like, yeah, I don't care anymore. So there's a saturation happening. Locals don't use it anyway, because you open the door, you go out, and there are 20 food stalls. And if you want to order food home, you just call your restaurant. They will set somebody on a motorcycle, and he will bring it to you. You don't need that. Yeah? So that's what they are facing right now, the saturation. Expats, yay, but the rest, Next example, also Rocket Ventures Zalora. It's kind of like Zalando for shoes and clothes. And they have problems with the payment. I mean, they're doing quite well, but they say they don't grow as much as they want because of the payment, because only 13% of people in Southeast Asia, they only have credit cards, 13%. So how are you gonna pay online? Like when I pay a bus ticket, for example, I have to pay 20% more convenience fee because I'm not going out, I pay more. Then I have to write down the ticket number, then I go to 7-Eleven, convenience store, or my ATM, type in the ticket number, insert the money, it's going to be transferred, I get a receipt, then I bought a ticket. So I could also walk to the shop, yeah? So this online payment in Southeast Asia isn't really working. And the last thing, motorscom.mm is also a motor car selling company in Myanmar again. I just picked that to show that even Rocket keeps investing there. And yeah, we have some problems here, and you could say, okay, problem, I could back out, or I could invest more, and they are investing more and more and more. Why? Because they say in 2015 it's going to be fine. It opens, so it's worth investing, yeah? And they're investing like crazy right now. But of course, there's not only bad things happening, also very, very good things happening. For example, this instant messaging chatting apps, Line. I've just have a short tweet from John Russell, who's the main author of The Next Web Asia. I think most of you geeks, nerds, know The Next Web. He's writing for The Next Web Asia, and what he says is just, yeah, it's typical Southeast Asia. When you're at, even companies, they use Line. Do you know Line? I asked before, nobody said yes. It's like WhatsApp, but cooler. Yeah? So get rid of WhatsApp, use Line. Or WeChat. WeChat is from China, but Line now gets developed in Southeast Asia. And yeah, you can even order water online. When your friend, the Thai beverage company, you can send them a Line message, hey, I want water tomorrow at noon. They will send you confirmation, and they will send you water, and you order it via messaging app. Yeah? It's not happening on websites, it's happening there in social media. When we go to Facebook, I said before websites, people don't care about websites. True, they buy here. And not even on brand profiles. There are normal, every shop has a normal friend profile. Then they friend random people. They post pictures with prices of shirts. They tag you, and you can send them a message. Yeah, I want this shirt. That's how e-commerce works. It's very sad to say that, but that's how e-commerce works in Southeast Asia. Yeah, it's really working. It's not like here. It's different, but it works. And that's how I want to finish. Yeah, just because it's different doesn't mean it's not there. Yeah? It's there, e-commerce is there, online is there, it's just not like here. And if you're going there, you have to adapt. You can't just copy and paste. It's important to know that it's different, but that it's still working. And that actually already concludes my intro to online in Southeast Asia. If you're interested in this presentation, in the PDF file or whatever, just go there. The latest post is with this information. I know I was talking very fast, but I had to make it in time, and actually we have 2 minutes left, so questions. That's like in university, no questions. You can't go home until you're asked. Over there.
Sorry, it's not directly about your lecture, but I wonder how still fairly almost dictatorship country like Myanmar can join a common market with Thailand and Vietnam. And what impact would that be also on a social media level? Like there isn't any Facebook in Myanmar as much as I know, or hardly any. And then will they be catapulted into the 21st century in a month, or how is that working?
It's a very, very good question. That's what we all think in Southeast Asia, and that's one reason why they delayed the start of ASEAN already for 1 year. They open up more and more Southeast Asia. You can see Rocket Internet is now going to Southeast Asia to investing, so do other foreign companies. So they try to open up, try to make more money. They even reduced the costs for mobile phones right now. Before you had to pay a few €100 for your mobile phone card, for the SIM card only. Now it's down to $2. So they try to open up, they try to become more open. But you're right, in the end, it's a kind of like dictatorship. We can say that, but because it's democratically elected, but yes. So yeah, they can shut it down whenever they want. So that's a good question. We're not sure yet, but they want to be part of ASEAN. That's why they have to open up. And the fear is right. They're gonna be catapulted into the 21st century, and we're all curious to see if that really works out. Most of us have doubts. Yeah. No more? Then, thank you very much. Thank you.